Ray Davis' college career has proved to be a long trip. Davis began with a standout freshman All-American season at Temple before a transfer up into a slightly down and up pair of years at Vanderbilt, and finally a second transfer that brought him to a Kentucky team where he could really shine. But just what skills has this experience granted Davis along the way? Find out on this 2-minute drill. What Ray Davis brings to the table is a platoon of well-refined skills that serve him well in each facet of the game. As a rusher, Davis displays quick feet that chop against the turf as he makes quick cut after quick cut. His eyes are sharp at recognizing openings, especially on outside runs, and he also displays the patience to stay behind his blockers before disengaging for extra yardage. Davis also has considerable power for his size, getting low and keeping his legs trending whenever he senses contact getting to him. In the receiving game, Davis showed to be solid but imperfect in pass blocking and blitz pickup, but he really shined once he was asked to act as a safe option as a receiver. Davis showed good, strong hands and a lot of wiggle to let him escape from defenders in the open field after the catch. He even showed to be a reliable option in the red zone. Ray Davis has a lot of polish from his tremendous experience, but there are still some flaws in his game. The main issue is really just a lack of flexibility. When Davis drives forward, he tends to stick to defenders instead of bouncing off of them, leaving yards on the table. On outside runs, it can take an extra step for him to get in full stride, and then another extra for him to cut upfield, giving him less margin for error around the corner. While his linear athleticism is his biggest issue, Davis does also have some issues with decisiveness when rushing on the interior, allowing some plays to develop longer than he should while taking others too quickly. His feel for the game is good, but it's not quite great. Lastly, there were a few times that Davis was able to line up out wide at receiver, but these tended to be a poor use of his abilities. My comparison for Ray Davis is former Texas A&M running back Trevion Williams. Like Davis, Williams was a shorter, stouter back that wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty as a blocker. Williams also contributed as both a runner and as a receiver, and similar to Davis was a more linearly explosive back that struggled to generate extra yards in tight conditions. I do worry that if Davis can't secure starter touches early, he may find himself stuck in a depth role like Williams has, but it does seem that the NFL is at least higher on Davis. Personally, I think he would be at his best on a team that likes to run a committee but still needs a featured player to take the bulk of the touches, somewhere like Dallas, or as the power back on a team like the Buffalo Bills. I would expect Davis to find himself going early on the third day of the draft, and that's probably about where I would draft him myself. And that's the 2-minute drill.